Hello, and yes, I know I am quite late, so bear with me. I'm not in my current studio. My internet capabilities are not the best, and in all honesty, it has somewhat affected the channel thus far. But let's talk about Yugioh Vrains episode 4. Now, I'll keep it short and sweet because even though we did see quite a bit, there's not enough that happened to really spark a long review. There's not really more I can say apart from I really appreciate, as a massive fan of pro wrestling, I really do enjoy these little, spotlight, these little Easter eggs which say, hey, look, if you're a wrestling fan, you're going to know about this. Face turn, heel turn. Wow, look, I can't help but put a smile on my face. However, I do understand the fact that if you're not a wrestling fan, you may not appreciate it, or you may not think, you may think it's a throwaway piece of dialogue, and essentially it is. It's just the fact that it's quite cool for anyone who does like wrestling. So this episode, what it does is it gives us more of a window. I did speculate, I did talk about and discuss Go Onizuka's character initially from the small amount of minutes we saw in the last few episodes regarding his character. I did say he does seem like he has an ego, and from the small snippets of dialogue, we kind of had a window of his character, but right now we have more sort of a door. We have a better understanding of his character in the fact that I don't know if he's noble or not. Actually, he is a very noble guy. It's just the fact that his intentions are still not the best. So what we do know that is that Go Onizuka does fight for the orphanage well. He maintains the orphanage, he brings them presents, and that's because he grew up in the orphanage, so he has this connection to the orphanage. Secondly, it began with from straight after the last episode where we saw a Knight of Hanoi coming into Link Vrains, and therefore this enticed Yusaku Fujiki, this enticed Playmaker to come into Link Vrains. However, there was a bit of a time skip, or essentially they showed what was happening in the previous events, which led up to the Knight of Hanoi making an appearance. And surprise, surprise, it was actually, because they did go a bit back in time, it was actually Go Onizuka collaborating with SOL technology to put a trap so he can duel Yusaku, not for the sake of getting Ignis back, not for the sake of that. It was actually for the sake of, hey, he wants to prove that he's the #1 duelist, and I respect that. It was very, very smart and very, very much a wrestling tactic. We saw a steel cage, but it's more reminiscent of the elimination chamber that is encapsulating both duelists, and the winner is going to be the one who's able to log out after, they just win. So with that being said, let's talk about the duel. So the duel was simple at its best. Yes, it was very simple. Remember, we are following the Duel Links format where you have a limited amount of monster zones, spell and trap card zones, and cards in the hand. Now, we see that Go's technique is that he likes to take the damage and therefore provide entertainment as he does the massive comeback. Once again, very, very reminiscent of wrestling, very reminiscent of... Honestly, I do think that Go Onizuka is completely inspired from John Cena. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of John Cena, and many people are the biggest fan of John Cena, but let me tell you one thing. John Cena is currently the biggest wish granter for Make-A-Wish Foundation, as he does a lot for the kids, and this looks to be the same for Go Onizuka. He does a lot for the kids, especially the ones who are very unfortunate. They're very unfortunately not in the best position. They're the orphans, but at the same time, Go Onizuka's main motivation is actually he wants the kids to cheer him on, and that is where, the whole conspiracy, the fact that, John Cena's only doing it because of brand John Cena, he doesn't really give a crap about anyone else. So think about that, discuss that to your own delight. I really do not care, but because that's it's a dodgy, prickly topic right there. But Go Onizuka is fighting just for the sake of he wants to be in the spotlight once more. I do think this is a very good form of story writing, character writing, as it can only be built up. His character can only be built up and therefore expanded from this point. Remember, this is episode 4. By the way, this is my Yugioh Vrains episode 4 review. Did I mention that? Probably not. yes, this is just the first 4 episodes, so it can only get more character development for Go Onizuka's character. I would say that the duel was, as it never ended, it was probably going to the midpoint, and I do like that. Yugioh Vrains has gone somewhat slow on the dueling aspect of things, and I'm fine with that. I've voiced my views before, and I am completely fine with that. Now, with Yugioh Vrains taking this approach, they have all the time in the world to focus on these characters. Now, this episode focused on essentially one character. I was about to say 2. No, it's just one. It's just on Go Onizuka, the charisma duelist Go Onizuka. Now, I like this episode where they kind of keep it like a closed episode which only focuses on 1, maybe 2 characters. Now, by focusing on those 2 characters, they are able to do quite a lot more, knowing that they have a potentially large ensemble of characters that they can focus on, very similar to the first episode. It's very good and very nice to see the mix, or the potential mix, between large cast, small cast. So I do like that. As I said, this episode so far, I can't really give a complete review as the duel isn't over. A very nice cozy episode, very nice to see Go Onizuka's backstory, not backstory, but his motivations, even though I don't think that is his pure motivations. They're going to go into more detail in the next episode when you have the typical, when he's back to the wall, oh I can't, they're going to do something cliche and explain his backstory and his motivation. And one thing they did say is, yes, kids are very, very honest with their views, as they are flip-flopping between Yusaku and Go Onizuka, and it kind of gives us an idea of, hey, this is probably what he may be feeling. Anyway, I don't want to prolong this review on for too long. This is so far probably, here's the thing, you can't really compare each and every episode to each other. You have to look at them objectively, and objectively is the right word? You have to look at them in a sense of with the context of the episode and the story that they're trying to tell and your enjoyment. You can't compare them always to, let's say, episode 2, episode 3. So, but regardless, if it was out of 10 stars, I'm gonna give this episode probably a 6 out of 10. It does what it was supposed to do. It does exactly what it says on the box, but it doesn't do anything more, because it's just part 1 of something more. Let's see the next episode. If the next episode is really good, my rating, my score on this episode will definitely elevate. Anyway, like, share. I do apologize once more for the lack of uploads. It's been a very difficult situation right now. And yes, like, subscribe to do this. You may now exit Dimsy's domain. 1, 2, 3.